All right, sorry for the low light, folks, but like JFK once said, sun doesn't always shine in West Virginia, but the people do. So you've heard me talk about the property fence or the fence line I got to replace and get cleared off and everything for the lambs this spring. Well, it's over here, and it goes all the way up. Now it doesn't. You're not seeing near the extent of that on here, and the slope of that really doesn't do it any justice on the camera. So I'll walk over here and show you a little better, a little more close up. So you can see this is the edge of my yard here. This is the property line, and it actually runs way down over into the jungle there and goes down, sweeps back that way, and that's steep. That's very steep down in there, and it's so thick and overgrown. There's just I'm not going down in there. This, and you'll have to forgive the voice and the snot and everything, because it's just one of those things. So this is the excuse me, the fence I'm going off of here, and it's fell back. I mean, it's already pretty much completely overtaken. So what I'll do is I'll stand that post up straight. I'll cut all this brush back and out of here, and I mean, you can see the mess here. It's just a mass of grapevines. And this is, of course, our side here, and I'll stand this post up after I get all that stuff cut out of there, and I'll run a straight line from here. Now, where I cut this down through here, I will go ahead and fence this and then out across that way, just along the yard, because this is the area where I want to keep the lambs at. I don't want them down in that mess. As far as I'm concerned, I can just stay like that. That helps add with privacy up here. But we'll stand this up and follow the line as it runs right up here to these trees, and we'll follow this. I actually cut, believe it or not, over the last several years, I've cut so much of this back. You know, I talked to the neighboring landowner and everything, and he's been fine with it, but it's just gotten back away from me for a couple of years, because it's, of course, not my property, not something I'm going to keep up with. I got enough of my own. All right, so this little bit of tangled mess here, you can see the fence is still down. Here's a remnants of a fence post. You stand that up, and you'll see that the fence actually does run right along this tree and into this one. And the grapevines come over across onto our property, so these trees will eventually come out here. And then you can see the post here. Now from that post all the way up through the jungle, buddy, I've got that over. So I've got to cut a big swath of stuff and brush and everything out of there. And that fence line, as it goes up, it's probably 200 plus yards up the hill, and it gets steeper as it goes. Now, I mowed all this yesterday after I finally got the parts for the Kubota. It's just, it's not conducive to bring the John Deere in here and try to get it with a brush hog, because there's just not much maneuverability in here. But there's just so much of this, it's heavily overgrown. And over in there is the fence line off that big tree right there. And I'm not joking when I tell you this is a nightmare. This is probably going to take me most of the winter. And of course, it is seriously overgrown with autumn olive. Now, when I bought this property, this entire hillside here, everything that you see freshly mowed and over there, looked like that, with a mass of broken trees. I mean, it's literal, just a wall of green. So I've worked a little bit here and there, just kind of bumped in here with the bucket on the Kubota and pulled some brush and stuff out. But the fence line's over in there, and it's no joke. So I do have my work cut out for me. The good thing is, I'll get in here with the chainsaws and I'll start cutting this stuff out. And I got a chipper that goes on the back of my tractor on a 3-point hitch. And of course, I want to go from the fence line over there, at least over to this width right here. So we're probably looking at 30, 40 feet. and I get that cleared all the way up to the top, and I can replace that whole fence. And then I'm going to come off of it about 60 yards up and come out across this way to a flat, and then take it on out to above the orchard and then down. And the lambs will be able to eat all of this, and of course they will eat the browse like a deer will, and they'll keep this 8 down and this hill right here. Now I mow all this hill. I usually let it go through the summer because of the flowers and stuff, the wildflowers and everything that grow on it, and I let it go for the bees and everything. So it brings the honeybees in, and they pollinate our garden beds, and they pollinate our orchard and everything. So that's about as much as I got done yesterday, and I'll finish this out as it dries up because it's pretty much rained all day. But this whole hill, as it goes up, there's a old logging road right up here, and that's where I'm going to take the fence just on this side of it and go all the way out and down to above the orchard, and then come back down and around. And this is less that I have to maintain then with the lambs. They'll, like I said, they'll eat that browse. I'll come in behind them and clear as I need to, and just, you know, just do cleanup, put the animals to work, get them doing what they need to be doing to help me keep the land, reclaim and regenerate the land essentially. So this hill's no joke. It's definitely not for the faint-hearted. Again, the camera does not give it justice, but yeah, let's just walk up here. All right, old guy climbed the hill. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. This little old logging road, and it runs all the way down through there, down above the orchard. Now, when I say I live in a hollow, believe me when I tell you I live in a hollow. Pardon the heavy breathing. Daggone. That is a beautiful sunset. I've always loved this view right here. So, if you've never been, here's a little bit of West Virginia from me to you. Welcome. All right, let me get off this hill. All right, so I mow clear up to right here, out and over and down. I mow all this. And again, the angle of the camera does not pay justice to the how steep this hill really is. Yeah, the old joke about West Virginia folks having one leg longer than the other, or one leg shorter than the other, depending on how you look at it. It's because we grew up walking out alongside the hills. So one leg grew shorter, one leg grew longer, so we could walk out across the hills flat. All right, and there's over there. That's the fence line that I got to clear. At least up to there for now. But then it goes all the way out, so there will be more cleaning and clearing to do. All right, so it's rained all day, and I didn't slip once coming off that hill, even in that fresh cut stuff. That's pretty good. All right, so that is, of course, going to be my big focus through the year, or through the winter and stuff. Neighbor over here, he deer hunts and stuff. His grandchildren deer hunt and everything over there. And I talked to him yesterday, and I told him, I said, I'm not going to interrupt you while you're hunting. I'll make sure I do it in between hunting seasons and stuff. And then, of course, after rifle season and stuff, I'll really get in there and hit it heavy. Because I like to hunt, too. I don't want anybody coming in and, you know, cutting or doing anything near where I hunt as well. So, just a neighborly thing to do. Keep good neighbors, keep good peace. But getting that fence line, shoot, going. A little bit of a climb today. So getting that fence line done is going to be key to us getting lambs in here. Now, of course, that's all going to, it needs done anyways. The fence line goes right up through the woods. Like I said, it's thick. It's deep in the trees all the way up through there. So it definitely needs replaced and stuff. So I will definitely be working on that. But, you know, the key to getting the lambs in here is at least getting it done up to that flat. And then coming out along that road. And that road runs right down through here. It runs right down through here, comes off the hill. And what I'll do is I'll bring it down just below the wood line here, because all this is going to get planted in corn this year. I'll keep them and bring them right down to above the orchard, and then right down out and along all of this so they can have all this to eat and browse in. Now, living in a coyote rich area and a fox rich area, of course, what am I going to depend on to protect my lambs? Because that's like coyote bait. And I have not said anything to the kids because I want it to be a surprise, and I don't want to get their hopes up in case for whatever reason I'm not able to get that done. But what I plan on doing is after the fence is done, about the same time we get the lambs, I'm going to get a Jerusalem donkey to bring in here. And if you don't know why, Jerusalem donkeys are great predator control. They will kill coyotes left and right. So they will help protect your little flock of lambs. And they're such a cool animal as well. So it will serve a purpose. I would much rather have a Jerusalem donkey than I would a livestock guardian dog, because there's more liability with a livestock guardian dog. There's more vet bills, there's more this, there's more, just in my opinion. I don't want another dog. I've got my 2 doggies. They're good, but they're not going to be good for guarding livestock. So that's why we will go with the Jerusalem donkey. And if you haven't heard yet, let me guess, you're hungry. And there's Mr. Boris. He come out. He seems to be doing all right. You can definitely tell it rained today. It is a muddy mess out here. Morning, sir. How are you? Are you coming over to see me? How cool is that, little feller? Hey, give Boris a minute. Hi, buddy. You doing okay? Huh? Don't get in the fence. You don't like that fence. All right. You think we're spoiled? Hey, I'm not going to feed you. Keep acting like that. Really, I'm not going to stand here and argue with pigs. Oh, you broke this one. Good job. Thanks for breaking it. Thanks for breaking it. That's more I got to do now. That's more I got to do. As if you don't think I got enough to do, huh? The biggest one is also the whiniest one. Aren't you? Aren't you? Oh, what are you crying so much for? Do you need some food? Is it tough being a pig and foraging and rooting? Is it? Pigs, buddy, they're the way to go. I love them to death. All right, let me get them fed here. All right, so, and of course with pigs, if you're not capable of handling, you don't need to buy 30 pigs. We've got 4, plus the new boar. 2 will be going to freezer camp when the weather gets colder. I mean, it's hell, it's 65 degrees here. It's been overcast and raining most of the day. Near dark, the sun finally comes out. So we're waiting on that cold weather to get that done. Now, we will also tie in the lower paddock this year. Well, not this year, but for next year, we'll get to work on that. Just minor little cleaning up down through there. Clearing a little bit, probably whatever just weedy stuff is, green stuff has grown up since we were in there last spring, and start driving posts and get electric fence running around there. And then I can jump from one to the other to get my power to it. On a 50-mile fence charger, I'm going to have plenty. So, and we will do it exactly like this. T-posts and step-in posts with three wires, go 3 lines, and that'll keep them right in there, no problem at all. And like I said, with a 50-mile fence charger, I can jump from one to the other as they come together down there at the corner, and then I can just disconnect there as I need to. And we will definitely rotate these 2 and the boar into there next year, because I'm curious to see how they'll end up with all of this. I've not even been down in there very far. I've been on the lower part on the old road that goes up through there where the fence line is, and it looks really good. But as far as right in the middle of all of this out through there, I know there's been some pretty good clearing in there, but I also don't want them to overpressure the land and over root it up, as you can see right there going down, because risk of erosion, seeing that we're up on a hill here, and I don't want too much of that going on. So I want to kind of stay ahead of that, and I'll come back in and overseed behind them and let it get some good quality grasses in there, some good nitrogen fixers and good grasses and stuff that'll feed them in the future as well. And then I want to come in and I want to start planting some oak trees in there as well, because this kind of crap here, I want to get this, because you can see the broken off tops of these and everything and all the vines. And if they've eaten all this out of here and rooted all this up, I can come in here and cut these old nasty trees out that are broke off and vine ridden. And I can come in and I can plant oaks in here, and I can put protection around to keep the pigs out of it, but get this returned to oaks and acorn bearing. Not going to be in my lifetime, I can tell you that much. I'll never see it, but I would like to get the oaks planted in here nonetheless for future generations and stuff, because pigs can thrive on in a good, you know, acorn area like that. So yeah, kind of falls back to that planting a tree when you know you're not going to enjoy the shade of it type of thing. But my legacy will be raising 2 good human beings, and hopefully leaving them with a decent place to continue to be as self-sufficient as they possibly can in the future and grow from there. All right, so they're fed. Horse is good. I probably need to get them water, because they drink a lot of water. About every other day I'm filling this barrel up. Let's see. Yep, you're good for now. All right, so they're good. All right, and that's it. That's just a little recap. Like I said, hopefully now I won't cheat. I promise you I won't cheat. I'm probably going to start here. We got the whole trailer load of firewood stacked up. I got one more pile out here to get loaded in the trailer and get over there and get it stacked up, and we should be good for that for the winter. If not, there's a couple more dead trees laying up there I can just cut up real quick to kind of supplement what we have. But I think we'll be pretty good, but if not, whatever. Anyways, I hope to also get the dozer back together and hopefully get it running again, just even if I just use it for a very short, you know, clear that road off up there a little bit more to be able to bring that fence down a little more easily. But if I can, I can. It'll be like we did all of this. We did this manually with chainsaws and a brush cutter, brush blade on my weed eater, and a machete, and by hand. That's how we did that. So we'll see. It's pretty nasty up in there, but I'll do what I can. And that's it. I'm gonna enjoy what little bit of sunset we got left. Hopefully get over this nasty stuff in the very near future. Silly dog. All right, that's gonna be it for this evening, folks. Keep working hard. Got to beat that system. Got to starve it, because it's trying to starve you. Get prepared, stay prepared. Take care, and God bless.